that this mama walrus might have if I try to take her baby from her. I got to be prepared to get pecked upside the head by the goddamn sparrow when I reach in that motherfucking nest. That's a universal right. It applies in all aspects of nature, from motherfucking reptiles to amphibians to fish to goddamn birds and to mammals and goddamn aliens. Even the motherfuckers from other planets that got a fucked up reality that's different than ours still hold the right of the mother to protect the child. So there's nowhere you can go to escape that. That's an unshakable, what they call in Islam, that's called aratib, the unshakable fact. That foundation cannot be altered. It's provable wherever you find any species of animal. The mother's going to make the proper provisions to protect the offspring. And if anybody interfere with the offspring, while he's under the mother's protection, go get their ass tore up. It could be a bee, a fly. Flies figure out how to motherfucking secure their goddamn offspring. The motherfuckers will buzz your ass to death when you go around where the motherfucking maggots is. Be flies all in you. Get the fuck, motherfuckers. Beelzebub. Where these motherfuckers coming from? Then you look over there and see the carcass with all the maggots, and you know that the motherfucking flies was swarming your ass to get the fuck away from their babies. Red ants tear your ass up. Stepped on the goddamn anthill. Didn't even know what you was doing. Ask them boys in Mississippi. They explain about them fire ants tearing your ass up. And Big Mama gotta push your goddamn head under the water and to get the ants off your ass. The country boys know what I'm talking about. You city slicking motherfuckers, y'all missed a little bit of the lesson because y'all don't know what the fuck I'm talking about because you ain't never had your ass towed up by them fire ants out in the goddamn cow pasture. You don't know about that shit. You only know piece of the culture. You need to know the whole culture to put the shit back together. Look, it is important to know a cow can protect her calf. A horse can protect its coat. Mama bear gonna fuck you up and gut your ass from asshole or appetite about them baby bears. Why is that? Why do all of these motherfuckers have that same high level instinctual drive? Because it's the matriarchal right. Once you in mother mode, there's responsibilities that come with the function. And if you never hit mother mode, you don't even know how to live your best life as a woman yet. That's what's fucked up. If you got babies and you ain't hit mother mode and you out here trying to use the babies as poker chips and motherfucking kinding tools in order to finance your rotten ass life so you can sit on your fat ass and be lazy and don't do no exercises in the kitchen curling bonbons all week watching the goddamn soap operas and collecting the goddamn check and won't let the baby daddy see the baby, you motherfuckers tripping. If y'all don't have that mother instinct turned on, where you constantly nest in your house, and they telling you got OCD, and you got to always make sure your meals is on time, and it's not, you don't even have to figure out what time to start what you want to cook. You look at the clock, and you know dinner got to be done at 5, and it's 4 o'clock. You know in an hour, that's only 3 things I can cook. Whoop the wop the whoop, 5 o'clock, here come dinner time. When you in that level mother mode, you are in fucking super God mode to change the reality around you. You just got to learn how to apply it outside of the house. You got to learn how to apply it in the community, and this is the whole purpose of pageantry, right? The women showing off their charms as young ladies that's going to be great mothers one day. Pageantry. That's old shit. They left it in the culture for a reason. They can't take it out. Go watch the Zulu. Pageantry. The best of the best get picked by the king. Pageantry. then the king makes sure that she get taught everything she need to know to be the greatest motherfucking mother she can be. Right? And once she steps into who she is, she know how to have gratitude for every motherfucker that gave her the opportunity to learn to be the best mother that ever motherfucking walked the earth. And her children gonna fight for her to the death to prove that point that she was the best mother on earth. They gonna argue with their cousin, Mom, my mama's better mama than your mama. So they gonna go over the obstacles they overcome. The cohesion developed from the opposition that we was faced with. How did mama deal with the rogue child, the child that didn't know no better, that was growing errant? How did she straighten that motherfucker out when the other children that was going astray, they didn't end up going errant till later on, and they didn't even see the shit because the one they thought was going to be the failure turned out to be the success, and the one they thought was the success was actually the motherfucking categorical failure. You can't do that shit. If you give them all equal opportunity to live their best life, you end up with a functional group of children, each one having a significant effect according to their level. Because we ain't all on the same spiritual level. Some people put in more study in the realms of the spirit to get a higher degree of spiritual training than others. It's just nature. If we all did the same thing for the same reason at the same time, we wouldn't get shit done. Nothing would get done. So we teach the young women now. I'm telling them, spilling the beans. You only need one grievance to take this shit and set this shit off. One grievance. All of the women gonna agree on it. Protecting the children. I said, that grievance is the universal grievance that they can't say we not gonna answer that one because that affect too many mothers in the community. Wait a minute. If you ain't got no motherfucking mother, then you might want to block that shit. Right? But motherfucker that grew up with a mother, and they looking at this shit, and they saying, nah. You're not going to do my mama like that. I'm going to fuck you up. I'm a grown-ass man now. When I was a little tyke, I used to have to hold on to her ankle while Mama Bear fought the goddamn beasts of the jungle. Goddamn it, I'm not no motherfucking cub no more. I'm a full-grown, goddamn matriculating, land-stomping, platinum-back motherfucking gorilla, pounding my chest, beating my motherfucking concrete, making sure these motherfuckers understand every fucking street on the four-corner shuffle, on the Vice Lord knock from Big Mama House to Big Red, on the 5-point flip to the 6, down to the Blue House, all the way back on the turnaround, to the southern Mississippi, to the Choctaw, Cherokee, Chippewa clans. All of these motherfucking gorillas is knocking across the land. Can't y'all hear them? I'm gonna make sure you not gonna disgrace my motherfucking mama. I'm gonna tell you that. And the reason being, that's the baddest motherfucker I know. And she married the baddest motherfucker she could find. My daddy. And they made the baddest motherfucker they produce. Me. All I need is marching orders. I don't need no motherfucking babysitter. I can take care of myself on my own, by myself, on my lonely. I can motherfucking do what you told me to do without you having to micromanage me to make sure it get done right. I'm not going to fall out with the team that don't understand the assignment as I do. I'm just going to keep repeating this shit over and over again until we start to wake the fuck up. And believe me, I'm tired of repeating myself. I showed you who they was, where they came from, how they got here. I showed you where to find their plans, their strategies, their tactics, how to counter that shit. This is what we did to compensate for this over here. This is how we moved the people around on the land. This is why we moved the people around on the land. This is how they backdoor us while we was moving the people around on the land. And they thought that we didn't secure every motherfucking goddamn corner of the land. But guess what? In the end, I can just undo that shit and reverse engineer their invasion from the time we are now back to when they came, and I can tell you they don't belong here. They ain't like us. I don't give a fuck how much they look like us. I don't care if they tell you they African, if they Umbike or Umbuku. I wouldn't give a fuck if they from goddamn India or China. It don't matter. These motherfuckers that look like us, that ain't us, that call themselves the white man, free white persons in law, that came over here as the black nobility exercising the power of Rome, and all roads lead back to Rome, tell me that all these motherfuckers is in cahoots together. And when I trace the money back to Switzerland, find out the money in Switzerland finances the Vatican, and that the Vatican is the front company for the backdrop, that's the black nobility, the secret motherfuckers behind the scene. When I get done telling you all that shit, somebody gotta tell y'all. Now that we know that shit, we not gonna dwell on it. We gonna act on that shit. We gonna go back to the culture. And the culture say the most loved, most respected gets its rank. And the culture say the most qualified hold the function until they can raise a qualified replacement. Here he is. I'm gonna tell y'all every motherfucking thing that women, a matriarchal right to rule to protect the children for the next generation. Ask any goddamn motherfucker on any goddamn reservation, even the $5 Indian, unless he's siding with the enemy, know that the mitochondrial right to rule on earth. The mothers have the first right to protect the children for the next 7 generations. They all know it. Every tribe. Go ask the motherfucking, you can ask the gangbanging cliques. They know that the mitochondrial right to rule override any of that bullshit when it comes to protecting these babies. Any of them know it. It's just that the common everyday people that go to school and go to church and put their money in the offering and try to be to work on time and make sure they raise their kids right, and they don't got time to go study, they don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm talking entirely Japanese to them motherfucking Englishers. Don't know. Because they can't have time to recall the culture, and there's very few in the culture that even understand what we went through to break this shit apart and explain it to you step by step, piece by piece, and then put the puzzle together with the receipts in front of your face to show you what I'm talking about. I'm not making this shit up. And then when you realize I'm not making it up, when I tell you that the only way to take back the power is to resume the matriarchy that was here before the invaders came. And once we do that shit is over with. I activate all of the motherfucking resources to rebuild everything. From big ass motherfucking air purifiers out in the middle of nowhere. Scrubbing the goddamn air from their chemtrails, from trying to terraform the planet so they can make it habitable for a species that don't fucking even belong here. And y'all think that they was just doing that shit to get rid of y'all. They were doing that too. But they was really trying to make it habitable because they thought they was actually gonna beat God on earth on some earth shit. That's what they thought. They believed it. They believed they was going to beat God with their bombs and their bullets, and they're going to beat God. They're going to shoot a bullet in the sky and shoot God down. They got the wrong understanding of what God is and how God operates. As long as Big Mama's babies keep making babies, because we baby kids and we don't fucking die, we multiply, the harder you step on our neck, the more we proliferate, because you's the goddamn virus and we's the goddamn cure. Soon as we start getting on that resonant frequency of the cleanse of the earth, sink back to the earth, call back the sweet water, you motherfuckers over. Because that's when the earth sends the signal out. Atlas shrug, shake off the parasites. Anything don't belong on earth can't match this frequency, you gotta die. It's not personal, it's just business. It's family business. And we take family business very personal. We get offended when we have to defend the family. Piss me off that they had to call me out my cave to come beat on my motherfucking chest, roar at the goddamn moon and say, rally the goddamn troops, this is how we get our shit back. And then when I look at the overall problem, it's just a matter of the knowledge of how to assert matriarchal jurisdiction when the old government is now dissolved. That's it. So the last few videos, I've been talking about how do the matriarchs, you gotta build yourself up. Don't expect Rome to be built in a day. These motherfuckers been fighting us for thousands of years. They've been fighting us over here for 500 consecutive years. And you can't expect that when you begin the process that it takes, you can't expect that it's not going to be difficult. But as you begin to unfold your path, it becomes smoother. Because I did the heavy lifting already. I went and found out what we had to do. But the rest of it I can't do by myself. I can't go get y'all shit and give you your shit. You got to get your own shit. You got to get out and you got to make these contacts in the community that establishes your motherfucking superior jurisdiction as an organic to the land and a matriarch with the right to rule or associate of the matriarch, which is her representative in the public domain to speak on her behalf, authorized by this old ass lady, motherfucking tribe lady. This lady been mother to everybody in this town. That's who I'm speaking for. Right? That's who's gonna get the honors. Because we're gonna do that so that when they build the power structure around her, they know that she's been around and she's seen a lot of mayors come and go. Senators and aldermen and shit be erased. Motherfuckers that came and moved to the city to exploit it and motherfuckers that moved to uplift it. Right? She done seen it all, so when you ask the question about a particular neighborhood to know how to make that motherfucker functional, she's the advisor of the town. She's the town mother. She the one that throw all of the goddamn town fucking functions at the goddamn park. She the one okay that shit. She called all of the motherfuckers. We gonna have free motherfucking chicken, free goddamn cornbread, free goddamn salsa, and we gonna have this much of it, and when it's gone, it's fucking gone, but we gonna give it away at this event when all of these kids can come together and have fun, and meeting each other, meeting the other kids from the community, so that all our kids know each other by the time they get grown, even if they ain't best of friends, they got a cordial relationship and they know how to speak. Binding the land. Y'all don't know nothing about that. Binding the land. By making the motherfucking youth participated youth functions together and know that we supposed to challenge each other to be greater than what we was if we ever gonna be better than what we are. And the only way to get better than what you are is to challenge your position and perspective no matter what your perspective is. And as you develop that perspective's precision, you begin to cultivate your noble nature. Going back to becoming a royalty again. Coming back to making yourself worthy to sit on a fucking throne. But in Europe, them motherfuckers made gold thrones. You know what we made thrones out of? Big Mama's fucking hands weaved a wicker basket goddamn throne. You can't, fuck that motherfucking gold throne. Give me what Big Mama made. Because she made that motherfucker with love. That shit gonna carry the power in the whole family. Everybody gonna want to sit in this chair just because Big Mama made it. Love of the position attributes to the power of the condition. We can't sit here and say we want better, we won't change, and we won't pick up the phone call and call one of our relatives we ain't never talked to. Only because we ain't never talked to and we don't know whether we jammed or not. We don't know whether we like each other or not. That's my cousin. I've been knowing as my cousin my whole life, but I ain't never had a conversation with that motherfucker. Never had a conversation with him. How the fuck you expect when the crisis come us to know to protect each other and then we protecting the right motherfucker? Because they got infiltrators married into our families now. Specifically, they'd tear the family apart deliberately, willfully, on purpose. You can hear him talk about it. If you pay attention, you'll hear him telling you. I don't want all these people in our family around our house. I don't want mama taking my cousins to skating with me. Selfish ass, self-centered motherfuckers. Or they're not trained right. They trained by a selfish and self-centered motherfucker. However it is, we've infiltrated at that point. When our children don't want to have fun playing with each other without some grown folks bullshit being in the way, when they done gave up on that, we done fucked up the life of the future. Children got to be able to have the opportunity to be children, right? When they go to childhood pageants, that's for fun, for them. That's not for the parent. But the parent want to turn that shit about them. My baby is the beauty queen. End up with John Benet Ramsey and some goddamn pedophile ass bullshit. Some just Lane Maxwell Pizzagate shit. Because he's trying to make your child's happiness about you. Some girls are born and want to express femininity, not sexuality, femininity at an early age. They want their fingernails done. They want their hair done. And then you got some girls that want to romp around, climb up in the tree with that high Shakti energy that want to punch you in your motherfucking face if you get out of line with her pretty ass sister that want to be dainty. Balance. Then you let these motherfuckers pervert femininity into sexuality so that they can exploit the children in your face, behind your back, and you don't even see it happen. I tell you this, after all this shit is said and done, I wouldn't want to do this shit a second time. I wouldn't want to do it a second time. Because after the first time, realizing how fucked up motherfuckers get, if they let that shit happen again, humans, dumbest motherfuckers, highest spiritual creation ever in existence. How you simultaneously be the most intelligent and the dumbest of the species ever created? The most intelligent and the dumbest at the same time. That's some idiot savannah ass shit there. Look, all these tribes a lot of people think a lot of people been contacting me lately. They've been asking me about dreams. They've been asking me about the stars. They've been asking me to translate dreams. And be they do all of this stuff. Stop. Pay attention to what I'm about to say. All of the power is in the hands of us if we decide to take it back. Once we take back this motherfucking planet called Earth by collective action, so we got to get the grassroots talking about a solution to activate the solution. We got to get the organic people of the land to talk about how should we do this so that we can get this done? More important than them actually being the success is the fact that they talking about they organic to the land. They know they from the tribes. They don't even got to know what tribe they from. They feel that call in them from the earth that they got to be in this particular place on the land. That's called the call of the matriarch. You know what that is. You know what it is. That's why you got to be there. Big Mama telling you I need you over here so that I can put you in the optimum position to get all of this shit cleaned up. Now, all you got to do is pay attention. Fuck getting your dream translated right now. We can do that shit later. Fuck finding out what a motherfucking feather mean in front of your goddamn window. We can figure that out later. Learn how to exercise your power to reclaim what's rightfully yours. While this lesson is being taught in real time. This our shit. We don't have to ask nobody for what's ours. We just have to assume the responsibility. Accept a portion of the responsibility of claiming our shit back. Everybody wants somebody else to do it and then come give it to them. It don't work like that. We can't get shit back like that. If everybody that's selfish, then the motherfucking corporate fiction just gonna run until the wheels fall off that motherfucker and it just collapse. Because it's just a goddamn dog and pony show to hold up the front. Then when y'all don't be really ready for the power, because you're not doing the motherfucking leg work, it's not going to be understood. When you get to power, what the fuck to do? How you going to want your shit back, but you don't want your shit back? You want your shit back, but you want somebody else to go get your shit for you. You don't want it back. You don't want it back. You just don't want to be in the condition you in. You don't want your shit, though. It's not important enough for you to get your shit so that you can claim your sovereign right to your best life. That ain't what you're trying to do. You're trying to be comfortable relieving yourself of the responsibility to yourself. And no matter how minimal you try to make it, you're still going to be responsible for what's rightfully yours more than anybody else. Because from that position of right, you cannot get out of that position. And that's why they call it the righteous. And the righteous shall inherit the kingdom of heaven. The righteous is the one standing in position right, tell the truth, don't back down, don't give a fuck what you talking about. When I know I'm right, I'm right. Here, it's right here. I can show you what I'm talking about. I know I'm right. If it ain't right, it's because they didn't record it right. But if it's recorded right, I'm right. It's right here. I'm not backing down. To get this fire in the soul, the children that comes out of these organic tribes, they turn into gangbangers, thugs. They are actually feeling that warrior spirit to motherfucking reclaim their shit. And that's why they get in that mentality. Your enemy know this. So they exploit it and point them and slap the one in front of him and turn his back like he ain't the one did it. He been the one did it all the whole time. So stop letting them exploit your power. You empower them by giving up your power. In the law, you say if you give up your power, they got the right to use it because you don't want it. That's the most important thing you can grasp right now. The concept of reclaiming the power. The understanding that the matriarchs and any other tribes from this motherfucker called Turtle Island, in order to secure the children at the close of the age for the next 7 generations and put them in the best optimum position to have their best life produced. The mother's got an absolute unbreakable right to seize power for the interest of the children. It's a matriarchy. It's the absolute right. It's an unrevocable absolute right of the mothers to come to an agreement at the close of any of the ages to restore the matriarchal form of government, which is the original government that operated on the entirety of Earth. And from there, what was patriarchy under the matriarchy is not like patriarchy under the patriarchs. Because now the men gonna be more man than they is under the effeminizing system of homosexually derived social developmental programs. The whole of Rome is based upon the foundation of homosexual conversion of the boys into motherfucking docile feminates that can't produce children, and they call them motherfucking geldings and shit. Eunuchs. Cut their motherfucking balls off so they can be forever effeminate. That shit. We in the time where they converting the boys so that you don't got no goddamn protection. Ain't no motherfuckers, all these niggas killing each other. We ain't gotta worry about them stopping the motherfuckers take over nothing because they too busy killing each other. Let them niggas kill each other. Let them motherfuckers weed out the goddamn weak. And the minute the motherfuckers gonna get to the point where they gonna be like, hold up, something ain't right here. I got to that point a long time ago. But some of these motherfuckers don't believe that the point was accurate until they get to the point where they see the point that I saw when I seen it. You can't say you want the enemy to take his foot off your neck, and then when you realize he never really got his foot on your neck, he just had a boot, but he wasn't even wearing the boot. It was just sitting on your neck. And the only reason why you didn't know that is because you didn't even try to get the boot off your neck. If you even gave it a little nudge, the motherfucking boot would have flipped over and you'd have realized there wasn't no foot in the boot on your neck. No pressure, no power. Get the women talking to each other about asserting the tribal rights under the Indigenous Rights Act is the blueprint. Once you assert the matriarchal right to protect the child as the underlying grievance and cause to reclaim the land, it's over. You activate the female goddamn continuity of government to give us back everything by doing that. That's the trigger. That's the set off. There's nobody that got the right to stop the mother from protecting the children. If you remember on Young Elder, we played Chief Mashpee Mama Bear, right? And she was talking about the 7 generational rule. Well, we at the part right now where we obligated to reclaim and restore the land in order to establish the next 7 generations. The next 7 generations, it's time to establish their protection today. They not gonna fight this dumb shit because I'm not gonna. If I get to be an elder that say, teach the children correctly and get the fuck up and the imposters off the land, that's the elder I'm gonna be. I'm not gonna march. I'm not finna send nobody to get killed doing no dumb shit. None of that. I'm just gonna stand in the position right, tell the goddamn truth until this motherfucker buckle. I ain't trying to take the power from me. I'm trying to make the machine run properly. I'm getting the oil change. I'm getting my engine lights checked. I'm getting new tires put on all around this motherfucker. Getting it vacuumed out on the inside, some fresh perfume in this motherfucker. Run this motherfucker through the motherfucking soft cloth car wash and have your hand towel dried. Fuck it, have that motherfucking hand blow dried with the hand blow dryer. And then I'm trying to give a tip to the goddamn motherfuckers that did it. That helped me get it done. Give motherfuckers a tip. Okay, now let's drive this motherfucking spaceship Earth through the goddamn galaxy with heaven being activated once again. Because heaven is on earth. You don't believe me? Go back to the 80s. There's a whole song. Do you know what it's worth? Ooh, baby, heaven is a place on earth. Where that place at? You make it. You build it as a team by understanding how to overthrow the demonic forces on the land. The demonic forces is the enemy forces. The enemy forces is anything that undergirds or undermines the women's right to protect the child. If they are kidnappers and adrenochrome drinkers and baby motherfucking fuckers, then they goddamn it are in violation of the great law, and the mother's got the absolute right to serve their ass eviction. And that's just the law of nature. It's weaved into the fabric of nature. I'm just reading this shit out loud to you. It's weaved into nature. You can see it everywhere you look where there's a mother with offspring with the right to protect that offspring. They win protecting their offspring more than they lose defending themselves on their own with no babies. They got the position of right. A motherfucking mother lion can defend her cubs better against a pack of hyenas than she can herself against a pack of hyenas. Because she gets some extra shit that nature lends to her and say, hey, you got to protect them babies, girl. I got to give you a little extra black girl magic that you can sprinkle on this motherfucking sandwich to make that motherfucker pop. Them motherfucking ants, them motherfucking fire ants will light your ass up. Look, go fuck around and beat a hornet nest. That hornet to hit your ass like you got punched by Mike Tyson about that goddamn baby. That motherfucker hit you so hard, you be like, God damn, who the fuck socked me? The hornet stung your ass, nigga. About them motherfucking babies. That is you. Wherever you look on earth, like, you can have a badass goddamn mountain lion, female, run up on a goddamn grizzly bear, and she can fight that motherfucker hard as she can and still lose. But let her have a baby close by. That's her goddamn X-Men power. That mama shit is an X-Men power. It's a superpower. It draws extra shit from the universe to support your victory in order to secure the future of your progeny. Damn, that's some bad shit. And if nature operates like that, the tribes that's natural to the nature of the planet, right? This is called the nature of nurture, right? This is the Afro-Unu production. A Malachi Z. York inspiration behind the sacred 8-ball. Motherfucking get one in the corner. That's an 8-ball in the corner. It's 3 8-balls on each side of the game in 3 different games. Right? That's that 369 on the turnaround. Get behind that motherfucker dotted motherfucking crosshairs of the rifle while you aiming your goddamn pool stick. Put a scope on that bitch. It's common sense. It's trajectory and angle. The mother power that's added to the mother protecting the child make her more able to defend the children than she even capable of defending herself. And we all know that self-preservation is the first law of nature. So why do she get extra shit to protect the baby? Because it's a combination of 2 laws of nature, the first and the second. It's a combination of the first and the second. So it activates with what we call double capacity, double indemnity. It's amplified. It got more than one law of nature backing that shit up. What the fuck you talking about, Rod? Self-preservation is the first law of nature, so she got to protect herself. The second law of nature is the preservation of one's species and one's kind. So if you activate the first law of nature and the second law of nature at the same time, then you operating 2 different laws of nature in equal ferocity, you're going to have more power in your battle against the opposition that wishes to snuff you out as an individual or your babies out as the possible heirs to your future. You're activating 2 laws of nature. Now, the people that activated, this shit dope. Them 9 ether beings, right? And anybody between 9 and 6 ether operating in the 3D have the right to synchronize the 3D, the 369, right? The 6 ether, 7 ether, the 8 ether, and the 9 ether. All of the tribes, the daughters of Isis, fall in that category. And they got a right by mitochondrial rulership of the earth, the feminine planet earth, that's governed by the feminine nature, by being the controllers and the pastors of mitochondria, right? If she's a 9 ether being and she gets everybody in the middle with 8, 7, and 6, and then she got a 3, 6, 9 turnaround, she just busts y'all motherfuckers in the Buddhist. See, you understand the act and the process of learning how to communicate the grievance to the other mothers to get them on the same page. It's the same effort and energy to build your most loved, most respected status in the community by offering an unstoppable and irrevocable conjure. The absolute right of the motherfucking matriarch to restore the land at the close of the age. The absolute right of a mother to protect her child, and that shit converging on some laws of nature, preservation and self-preservation. Do the math. If the shit don't math, then hey, I sit my ass down. If the shit don't math, I sit my ass down. Understanding how nature works, you understand how to apply God's law to man's life. And the application of God's law should make man's life a heaven on earth. Because the hedonistic pursuit of the masculine is complemented by the spiritual development of the feminine being the portal to life, what we call the uterus. The uterus is a musical instrument. And the women that got the 9 ether that dance with the chaos magic are sending sounds through chakra resonance through the motherfucking uterus back into the universe in order to make shit happen on earth. And y'all think she just twerking. And she's being vulgar and obscene. And that she shouldn't dance and shake her ass like that in public. Who do she think she is? Look at her. She's supposed to be conscious and she's wearing weave. She got them extensions in her hair. Ooh, she must think she want to be white because she pressed her hair. Doing that shit before anything called a white beauty standard existed. Women like to primp. Some feminine women like to do feminine shit. Like create shit that make their femininity more pronounced. But you say it's vulgar. She's some kind of harlot. You know. Some of them do get carried away because they suffer from westernized version of body dysmorphism, where they built like a lot different than what they perceive themselves to be built. And then they try to accentuate the wrong parts of the body using the wrong materials. But as long as you're doing it your way, you're supposed to do it how you feel in your heart is the right way to do it. But when you put them in a box, anytime you put somebody in a box, you become the warden of your own prison, overseeing your own misery. Because it's more miserable for a motherfucker to hold you down than for the motherfucker that's being held down. Because when he realized not only is he holding you down, he's stuck down there with you and he can't let you up because you got the wherewithal to come up and he gonna be stuck trying to get up. That's where the problem gonna come in. Can't hold no motherfucker back. You can't hold no motherfucker down without holding yourself back. You can't do it. And over time, you thinking you making them miserable, but you creating your greatest misery. Because you got to stay down with them to hold them the fuck down. That's why they look like us, but they ain't fucking us. They had to stay down there with us in order to fucking hold us down. Now I'm telling you, I'm not staying down here at the bottom. And I'm trying to tell you motherfuckers how to get yourself up. Get up. I'm getting up. I don't know what the fuck y'all do. I'm coming up. Because I'm going to say this shit until y'all get it. Power sees nothing without a demand. And right now, you have a rancid decay of a former power structure that is no longer functional or operational beyond the stage show that it appears to be. As soon as the mothers across the land begin to dialogue one amongst the others about taking the land back, using the mitochondrial right to rule to protect the children for the next 7 generations, this shit will then cease to be motherfucking stage show. They're going to have to bring all of the motherfucking shit out into the open. That's going to be the end of it. But until y'all hear this motherfucker, I'm not going to stop till y'all motherfuckers get what I'm telling y'all. Motherfuckers say whatever the fuck they want about me. I'm giving this. I went and got the game and I'm giving it away free. And any nigga that ain't got enough sense to come get it don't need it. Somebody said that the troglodytes finance. My sister bought all my books. My blood motherfucking brother and my blood motherfucking sister bought almost all of my books that I didn't buy for myself. While you was trying to motherfucking shine, bling bling, and be busy, I was buying books, trying to understand what the fuck is these motherfuckers doing. I was putting in the time watching the motherfucking documentaries and the editorials and the motherfucking lectures and the philosophers, reading all of this shit, putting the references with the cross references in order to reconstruct what happened to us from a scientific perspective without taking sides. Oh, it becomes quite evident. It's a game of cat's paw. There's an imposter on the land that's using somebody that doesn't look like us to cover up the fact that the imposter looked just like us. But they not us. See, they don't love each other the way we love each other, and they won't motherfucking put this shit out in the open to protect each other like we will. They'll try to use it for financial gain where we'll get this shit away free. Just as long as our people get this goddamn information, you can make the money. I don't give a fuck about the money because when it's all said and done, that money funny anyway. All it is fiat, some goddamn monopoly money. So I want the real shit. So I really, I'll let a motherfucker bounce the motherfucking cash out for the purposes of moving the energy. I ain't got no problem with that, but I'm not finna be out here trying to sell shit. I don't got nothing for sale. I'm not selling nothing. If a motherfucker asks me and I know, I'm giving them the answer. I ain't charging them nothing. The reason being is I'm trying to get the people to understand how to reclaim their shit. I'm gonna start going over a series of books in the next video. Next video, I want the sisters. Well, you could just record the video and I'll go over the books I want y'all to get. But I'm going to start going over some books. I'm going to give a book list. And the purpose of it is going to be learning to apply power. Learning to read strategies of military nature. Learning how to operate in the business world teaches you how to operate from a business side of the tribal perspective or the family perspective. We need to learn and we need to get back to the family banking program. So, I got a couple books. I got a couple books in mind now, but I want to put together like a little semi-program The hard part gonna be is to find a book that explains to you how to do community active work to organize the community to support the clans in the every city got 5 families. The 5 prominent families of the city, all of their matriarchs is the mamas of the town that run the town for real, for real. They the ones that can change who the mayor is at a moment's notice on one election. So when you realize the most powerful communities, the ones with the tightest knit families, you start trying to get the families to click back up. Cities start sponsoring families to put on family events just so that they can have a strong family environment in their town. And they invite this family from the east side of the town and this family from the west side to come throw a shindig together because they've never done anything together before because they don't know who the fuck each other is. But the town mothers think that these 2 families need to know each other because they can be a powerful asset to the community if we can get them to know each other before they start to kill each other. That's just community development, social development. Building strong tribal structures, which is family structures, builds the strongest community structure. They know this. They know this. That's why they put all of these family divisive strategies at work, like the welfare system and Department of Children's Services and motherfucking the friend of the court, the child support. All that shit is did to fuck the families up. All that shit did to fuck the families up. If I get with a chick and I'm gonna be with this chick and she got children by this other dude and he don't want to be bothered with his kids, leave that nigga the fuck alone. Leave that nigga alone. It's enough of us here to take care of these babies. We ain't got to kiss nobody's ass to do that shit. These motherfuckers was with you when I met you, goddammit, them my motherfucking kids too. Let's just go on about our business. Stop trying to torment a motherfucker. Maybe he'll want to spend some time with his children when he realizes that the children are going to be either better developed with him or better developed without him. But based on my presence, they going to be better developed either way it goes. We don't like to talk about that kind of shit. We want to talk about all of the positively reinforced negative stereotypes to tear apart the family that they want us to hold as the moral code. Anything that's going to fuck a family up. The tribal manner of dealing with things is that the mothers from both sides of a child's family, the mothers from both sides of a child's family, the mothers from both sides of a child's family observe the interaction of the child with both parents. And if one parent got the grievance that the other parent not performing function, take that grievance to the other person's family. Not no goddamn friend of the court. Not no goddamn child protective service, the other part of the family. Hey, this person is doing this to this child. This is not healthy for the growth, maintenance, and development. Right? I'm presenting this case before you. This is my evidence. You figure out what we gonna do about this because she's becoming or he's becoming a hindrance to the personal development of the child's self-esteem. That's tribal resolutions that doesn't involve the state because that's not a state's function. The state has no right in your personal house unless there's some pedophilia or some shit going on where you hurting the kids. Normally, if the family feel like that there's some shit going on, they supposed to get your ass to fuck out that house. And ain't no state interaction got nothing to do with it. It's family business. But they don't want the good men to get the bad men out the family. That's what was fucking us up. Secret squirrel shit. So even the good ones was under suspicion because the dirt that the bad ones did, but nobody never took the time to properly teach the good ones how to motherfucking get the bad ones out because they want the good ones to be protected from the system because they take in the responsibility of the family to protect the family by handling family business away from the fucking family. And they call them tribal rights. You're supposed to clean your own family up first before you go around poking your nose in somebody else's family. You need to make sure you clean your own family up first. Generational curses have to be broken. Some of them are energetic, some of them are philosophical, and some of them is realistic. But no matter what they is, the generational curses have to be broken, and you're going to have to follow a pattern that you're going to see in front of you, and sometimes you're not going to like that shit. Because sometimes it's going to compel you to have to try to attempt some shit that you don't agree with, but that's the only way to prove the point that you overcame the obstacle and you're not going to perpetuate the generational curses. It's to be tested with the generational curse laid right before you as the goddamn carrot on the stick. Most of these motherfuckers follow the carrot and fall into the generational curse trap. I don't want no parts of that shit. All I want is go about my business and live my motherfucking life and play with my motherfucking babies as they grow up. And I want a bunch of them motherfuckers. That's it. I don't want them else. But responsibilities comes with motherfucking development. The one who becomes capable has to become responsible to do the function. It's the law of the land. When you get to the point where I can produce people to go out and tell y'all and point the shit out to y'all as clearly as me, then I can go about that business and go back to going playing, acting like a 53-year-old, 54-year-old child with my children while we crawling around on the ground, playing with my grandbabies and shit, getting my face all with the goddamn spaghetti noodle sauce on it and shit, laughing, that kind of shit. I ain't doing this shit because I want to be a celebrity. Shit, if I wanted to be a celebrity, I kept up with my motherfucking bars. My shit go hard. I just figured it was something else could do that's more needed in our community. I heard somebody say the community is in need of people that will lead. I am goddamn general material, proven it many a times. Motherfuckers and tried to out-strategize me, and I walk motherfucking rings around them every time. Maybe the community is in need of people that'll lead. Maybe we need to get some of these parasitic pseudo leaders sucking the blood out the community out the way first. These niggas gonna step the fuck down, and half of them daughters is gonna step the fuck up if he can control his emotions. Thought he took that shit as far as it can go. But he didn't give his baby a chance. Hard caught up in his emotions. The fuck out the way, nigga. It's a new motherfucking sheriff in town. God damn it. Jefe Blanco in this bitch. The motherfucker with the white hat. Long motherfucking ranger. El Chapo in this bitch. If El Chapo would have knew who the real enemy was, do you know he would have been organized the people in a different direction? Because that's what he told Larry. He didn't know what the fuck was going on. He was just trying to, he knew he's supposed to have been running some shit, but he didn't know what the fuck was going on. He didn't know that he had infiltrators on the land down there using this means in order to oppress his people on both sides of the goddamn Panama Canal. Now you see what's going on. He's like, oh, well, shit, Chief, let me try the fuck up the right way then. And then MS-13 just started just because some niggas had a fucking fart storm of a brain. That's tribal development process that went through. Right? When the chiefs is held where they send distress signals into the world through the tribes. MS-13 is the most powerful distress signal the motherfuckers could have ever sent out of motherfucking El Salvador. That shit was a heavy motherfucking hitter. That motherfucker MS-13, that's the Queen Mother's Miss Queen Mother. They like, fuck you, nigga. I'm going to your mama because you won't do this shit because we need you to do this shit. And fuck you. I'm going to the Queen Mother because the motherfucking king won't do shit right. Them wasn't the real kings on the land. That's why they wouldn't do shit right. They was imposters. And they went straight to the Queen Mother. MS-13. Queen Mother 13. That's who it is. This is the biggest motherfucking hardest penitentiary knock that a gorilla can give from behind the cage. Y'all think they just trying to do some gangbang shit. Niggas trying to get free. They trying to use their power and influence as best they can to live free. They ain't even trying. They sending motherfucker, put this with that shit, and when you put it all together, tell me what you get. I get gorillas knocking from every clan across the land. This guerrilla warfare. How motherfucking shit, we thought we was the few, but we the few, they the few, and we the many. Them motherfuckers look like us, but they ain't us. And then they try to use motherfuckers that don't look like us to trick us and thinking that the motherfuckers behind the dirt didn't look like us. We caught their ass. The gig is up, you black conquistador ass, two-door royal family ass motherfuckers. We know who you is. I don't give a fuck how many times you change your name and say you came from different destination. We know you not from over here. But we could go along and play your dogma game until it's time to put that dogma to shame. I'm a dog man, so I'm going to know a dog playing when I see the dog laying on the land. So when he's scratching for fleas and he's running from bees, I know that them Queen Mothers is on his motherfucking heels. Here's what it is. They calling y'all out. So, the sisters learning how to communicate the tribal takeover between each other right now is more important than the tribal takeover itself. Because y'all got to build that network, a sisterhood. Sisterhood of mothers that seasoned, that see through the bullshit, the dirt doers and the do-wrongers. So, I'm going to wrap this one up here. I'm done yapping my trap. But remember this. There's a process to exercising the tribal rights, which is the family rights, which is the rights of the family to protect the children in that family. And the matriarchs of each family had a right to call a meeting of the local matriarchs in order to seize local government from the de facto corporation, because they didn't ever tell us any of this, which made the contract a concealed fraud. It was a concealed fraud because if you don't know that by using your original oral traditions and your matriarchal jurisdiction that you override a system, we could have been done with this shit. We could have been got rid of the racism, the sexism, the mass molestation and kidnapping of the children. We could have been done that if you would have understood that by using the tribal rights of rulership, which is the earth rights of rulership, which is the ancient code of kings and queens, which comes from the divine right of gods to rule on earth, which creates the hierarchy of the packs of the human species, what we call the alpha-beta system of ranking of males and females by quality and standard as the perfection of the DNA forms and produces the individual. Quality of stock, right? So we really analyze in the avatar and how we purify the soul to determine our rank, our spiritual rank. The ones with highest spiritual rank, they're gonna naturally try to resolve the greatest issues of the society or the community because they're gonna see from a higher spiritual position the entirety of everything that's taking place as a whole picture versus only looking at parts of the puzzle, right? Like you got some brilliant minds building parts to the puzzle, but we don't have no minds just stepping back looking at the big picture of all of the puzzle pieces to generate the power desired to manifest the outcome that we require for the greatest good of the most people. Organize the principles of power according to the laws of nature, the laws of physics, the hermetic principles. And when you start laying it out, it becomes so simple that it's like it's to somebody else you look like you're doing some high fucking alchemy when you're really just doing low magic. You can do better by trying to do high magic practices using low magic because it doesn't require a sacrifice or a ritual. It only requires the element to be activated that you're using in the cause of manifest, which is the call to life of the thing you're trying to produce. In order to call it to life, you have to understand it enough to know what it is you call into life. You can't call something to life that don't got its innards properly intact because it's going to be called to life only to experience death. But if you call it something to life to experience prosperity, right, then you're going to require something to come to life that's going to be free to grow and free to expand instead of being restricted. So everything is being restricted, but they being told that the expansion is the restriction, so that they restrict themselves, believing that they expanding. It's a great psychological tactic of conquest, which will be played on a higher dimensional chessboard than a regular chessboard because it would require you to advance too many moves ahead and at too many different angles for a traditional chessboard to even be visible from that many spectrums. Right, so there have to be something being done in a galactic chess game. There's too many convergences in these angles of light shining on them. There's too many convergences. When you get off of the three-dimensional chessboard and you start looking at it multi-dimensionally, then it's the only way that you can see the necessary angles to understand the problem is you have to see it in a greater dimensional context than the three-dimensional context, right? So you can sit there and you can keep looking like it's only one solution on the three-dimensional framework. Well, sometimes you have to go back to the plane of force where things are manifest through the dream world. And when you do that, you can solve the problem there. 3D have to adjust. The 3D have to adjust. It's a lower dimensional framework. The lower dimensional framework is a reflection of the higher dimensional framework. So if you're using the spiritual corrective method, when you correct it in the spiritual, it will tell you when to see the manifestation of the correction emerge in the physical by following a series of signs that the universe will give you in the form of knots. And that's the only way you can follow the path. That's how you illuminate your own path. It's a scientific endeavor and a mathematical problem to be applied. But you got to be able to see from a higher perspective. So first you got to even ask yourself, if I was living in the sixth dimension, what would that feel like? What would it look like? What would it smell like? Exhaust your five senses and then say, what other senses would I have in the motherfucking sixth dimension? I might have a whole group of senses that I don't got here. So now you have to stretch your mind out of its current comfort zone to expand on the level to encompass the potentialities of senses that you don't have access into the 3D that you may have up there. And the side effect is it's going to cause your subconscious mind to turn on your psychic abilities. Because in the 3D, sixth density or sixth dimensional perceptive skills, senses, translate as a superpower like a psychic power on Earth. It's basic math. It's not even complex math, it's just basic math. And then they did it at a higher level of density or a higher vibrational frequency. They did a simple problem that complicated the whole 3D because it was too simple for the computer. So the computer like choked on the answer and created this shit. So that's why they say Sun Wukong had a clone army, because he didn't stop till they understood where he was coming from so clearly that they didn't even have a desire to want to go against him. You always have your oppositions and your naysayers. If you ain't got motherfuckers pushing against you, they not pushing you to be greater anyway. The motherfuckers that push against you push you to be greater and pushes you to greater heights. So hopefully my phone will be here soon, the next day or so. My daughter, I had my daughter order it for me. Let's see what when it get here. She said I should be able to activate it without going to the phone store. So we have rituals, traditions. These traditions be meaning shit. They carry information. Like the mothers that pass out those blankets in the community. You know, the old lady that be knitting all the time. I'm gonna knit this baby a blanket. Old tribal customs. Papa Bear, I need some new slippers. Yes, Mama Bear. That simple. She take that motherfucker slipper off and slap your ass upside the head with that motherfucker. You understand what she talking about then. It ain't hard enough to hurt you, but it's hard enough to get your goddamn attention. It's so loud enough, but it ain't meant to hurt you. It's meant to motherfuckers, one of what they call a love tap. Sting a little bit just to get you to focus. Ice one of them going. Some more mama pick that motherfucking shoe up. Big mama pick that shoe up. Come at your motherfucking ass. Don't let motherfucking Big Mama get pissed off and put on Big Papa shoes, because when Big Mama got Big Papa shoes, Big Mama got a gun. When Big Mama got a gun, you don't know if she got her big gun or her little gun. And her Shessa wore a beard. The tool of symbol for power vary from clan to clan. The more power symbols you can recognize, the more clans you can see as are active across the land. You see stuff in pop culture average person overlook that shit and be like, that's a poster. Maybe something in there to get your attention. And you be like, well, I can't get that damn poster off my man. The motherfucking poster. Something about that poster, and you go back and you look at that motherfucker again. You know it means something. It's telling you something, but you don't even know what the fuck it's telling you. But you're trying to figure it out because you know whatever that message is, if you figure that shit out, you'll be on to some powerful shit. And you try to force yourself to forget because you don't want people to call you crazy. That's us. That's what they taught us. They taught us that it's rather that we be seen as normal than brilliant. Right? They rather for us to seem to fit inside the lines with everybody else than to stand out and be brilliant. Every child got the right to be as brilliant as they want to be at any point in their life. Some motherfuckers got to take most of their life trying to find what they love so they can develop the skill set and the talents to do the thing that they love when they finally figure out what they love to do. The journey is sometimes the training mechanism. Remember, we didn't always have universities, but we always had brilliant motherfuckers. Motherfuckers that knew how to read and write. Right? We started creating universities and colleges for motherfuckers in Europe. We had motherfucking citadels and motherfucking mass libraries. We teach your ass how to read and turn you loose in the library and say, try to guzzle as much of this motherfucking water as you can before you leave in 10 years, 5 years, or whatever the case may be. So some of them read every book in the library. Some of them read every book twice, but when they get done, they stretch their brain. That it no longer can go back to the normal conditions of thinking like that small town boy once used to think. Now, he got all of these different views and angles in which to see the problem and the solution from seeing what other people has tried to describe, and he'd be able to put the puzzle together as soon as he learned how the subconscious works. Then he can do the flips based off the intersecting of the information, because the information is swirling like it's on a series of circles in order to cross word to word to match the word from the first word you ever heard. And the word develops into the idea based on conversion with other words. And all of the words is made up of letters. And all of the letters is the alpha-beta system. And the alpha-beta system is the ABO, which is the alpha blood system. Right? And the ABO flips out the basement system in the division 1. That's a motherfucking lockdown segment of the DNA, right? So when you break out of ABO and then you go to A1, then you go to A2, then you go to A3, unless they flip you back to the F well, right? So then you see that the county jail is just a layout of the cells in the body in order to justify the cells in the county, in order to justify putting you in there, representing the energy in the cell in the county. So they using you as collateral to put a lien on the county to say that you an imbecile. That's why they hold you in here, because you can't administer your own estate. So we got an estate for your ass. Upstate. We had a 5x6 piece of motherfucking castle that we've carved out just for your ass. We turned your motherfucking castles into prisons and asylums, and you're going to find out how to walk on your shit when you come back, whether you want to or not. Based on where you come from, you have to traverse your castles. So we turn them into motherfucking prisons so that you make sure you be a criminal that's going to prison so that you can walk your feet on the holy soil that you're supposed to walk on in your lifetime. And that's how they be trapping these motherfuckers into the joint. All this shit is trickery. The 3D world is trickery. It's all based on deception. jokes, humor. All that shit is based on that. It's trickery. Right? That's why they call some of the guys tricksters. Because the whole thing is based on trickery. The trickery is to get other guys to allow you to use their willpower to manifest the creation according to the alignment with the reality you want to manifest. And they turn it into villain and hero stories. You gotta learn how to be the husbandman, the farmer of your own mind. And then, when you exercise, you make every guy stand on his motherfucking own so that y'all can stand in power as a collective unit as opposed to a one God concept where one God then took the power from all the rest of them because he was jealous on some bitch ass and nigga shit. So that's my soapbox diatribe for the night. I want to try to take some callers, but I ain't gonna be able to do it on this tablet because I won't be able to hear y'all. I tried it on my last video and it kind of like made the video difficult on the playback. So if y'all see Lioness Den, let her know to hurry up and repost these videos on because they've been fucking with them on Instagram. And then I need to hook up with the Hood Healer. So if y'all give the Hood Healer a shout out, let her know I need to get with her so we can do a catch up session with Chief Pontiac and the Hood Healer healing the hood around this bitch. Who else I need to contact? Oh, I didn't tell y'all that the Oshun ritual where we went over that. I seen Divine Insight moving a whole lot of shit in the astrals, and he made me stay there and watch him move a whole lot of shit astrally. Now, I don't know what the fuck this brother was moving with all these goddamn moving shit. He was moving shit from one place to another. I don't know what the fuck he was moving, but he wanted me to see him moving it. That was the same night them sisters finished that Oshun ceremony. I had to sleep 13 hours so I can watch this motherfucker, Divine Insight, do a whole bunch of motherfucking shit shuffling, moving shit where it belongs in the astral so that I can get a report that he was moving the energy right along with them sisters for the Haitian Revolution and for the coming soup festivals, right? So I had to make sure that I get to the public domain, and yeah. So and then the sister did the uh, read on Malachi, and she went over the setup. I had already went over the setup in the COINTELPRO operation and all that shit, right? So she was going over Malachi. I forget her name, but she was going over the Malachi case, and she was getting ancestral downloads about the setup, and then the sister came in and verified all of the shit that she was already saying. Shit was all cold. But I gotta get her caught up, cause she don't know is all of those chiefs that they had in as COINTELPRO um um captives is those are the chiefs that's in Cheyenne Mountains now. And by her being tapped in, as soon as I mention it, she'd be able to tune straight in the Cheyenne Mountains and see them niggas sitting around looking at the big screen TV watching me tell y'all how to reclaim the land. Sometimes I'll be doing these videos and I'll be in a remote viewing session watching them motherfuckers watching me telling y'all how to get y'all shit back and that who was behind the dirt and who was behind the liberation. I be watching them motherfuckers sitting around on the big ass Titantron looking screen in Cheyenne Mountains. They be watching me telling y'all exactly what to do to get y'all shit back. They be trying to figure out how this nigga know at what part of the continuity of government we at without us telling him exactly where we at. And he can keep up step for step with where we at in the process. So he can tell the people exactly what to do to take the power back. And then they starting to wake up and figure out that them having a grassroots conversation is more valuable than them actually taking the power back, because one of them gonna figure out how to activate the continuity government relief from FEMA by that call log of the mayor. It gotta be one of the matriarchs on the land. And as soon as they figure that shit out, then this nigga gonna be told them how to get out free from the gates of hell. Now, I'm watching them motherfuckers, like right now, they watching me telling this to y'all, and every now and then they hit little buttons and shit to jam the feed. I know what they be doing. They be in there cracking up while I'm explaining to y'all of me remote viewing them, watching me on a big screen TV. Right? They over there cracking up. They're like, that's humorous to them. Because they know this shit is over and we fucking won. And now they gotta watch me squirm telling y'all how to get this shit back, knowing the motherfucking brain damage they inflicted on our people. I got to have to be the one complicated with the motherfucking instructional manual to tell y'all this shit over with. And they think that the shit is cute. That's just so cute. That's how they looking at it, laughing. That's the most humorous shit. The gig is up. He's spotting us, spotting him. Telling them how to get free. They fucking won. Hey, Bobby, they fucking won. Tell Joey, they fucking won. Can you believe that? These feather-wearing fuckers fucking won. Goddamn right they won. Because they told me to fix it and they didn't say take sides. They just wanted it fixed. So it's fixed. Now I gotta tell people what to do to finish putting this motherfucking shit back in order. And I'm sick of talking about it because it's simple understanding the moving the energy. When the energy moves, you'll begin to wake up to how to groove with that shit. If we stop trying to look for reasons to degrade everything we do, we will realize a lot of that shit be for a motherfucking fundamental reason. Just like we talk about the sisters twerking or doing Don Papao dances and all that old shit they be doing on the TikTok. They moving energy, y'all. They moving happy energy. They moving happy energy. Bringing they motherfucking instrument, portal of life. Sending the message back to Prime Creator that we got still some shit that we can dance about in the middle of this miserable ass shit here. They telling Prime Creator they still got something to dance about. Everything ain't all gone. All hope is not lost. We don't have to stop making babies. We don't have to stop producing men. It's a message. Communication. Microcosm, macrocosm bullshit. Just like the universe communicate with you, you got ways that's naturally communicative to the universe that has nothing to do with trying to degrade or diminish yourself, but it may look like that to the owner. You gotta remember, we the same motherfuckers that get amused watching a bird dance for its mate. Like, that's cute. You know, we into that shit. We watch that shit on the National Geographic channels and shit. And think that we shouldn't dance to lure the attention of the desired mate. That's not part of who humans are. We supposed to be too religiously and morally correct for that shit. And I'm telling y'all now, that's some bullshit. If you think I'm joking, we can test this shit out for yourself. Next time somebody gets you really, really pissed off where you ready to take your 12 gauge shotgun and blow their face off, right? Turn on some music and dance and see if you can stay in that same energy with that same rage for longer than a couple of minutes. And then you sending the message to the universe. It was a fucked up situation, but I can deal with it and overcome it. And then the universe answers you back by giving you a reward. You didn't even see it coming. Oh, I flipped over a $50 bill on my way to the store the other day. Coincidentally, the asshole that lost the 50 should have lost 50,000 with his rotten ass, but he only lost the 50 because that's all you was worthy of when you accomplished that task by following in that right step that one time, so that you can pick this 50 up and get your 50 flipped to you in order to flip straight. They got motherfuckers betting like they in Vegas on how long it's gonna take. I ain't betting. Mama told me a long time ago, baby, only bet on the show thing. And Big Mama say it take how long it take, that means you ain't gonna be shocked. Cause sometimes Big Mama a little slow. She ain't young as she used to be, and sometimes she walk on her cane. So you gotta know, so Big Mama can't always be where you want her to be when you want her to be there. But I guarantee you, when she need to be there, she gonna be there on time. According to her own schedule, not yours. Yes, ma'am. You gonna fight that shit. No man know the day of the hour. It's already understood. Ask them sisters, they'll tell you. They can see the end. They can read the energy to see the dates. Right? But we can read the energy of the date in order to see the event. Crazy. So, with that, look in the question box again. So, Haiti's gonna get a call for the well, the story be told by the people that were there in the swamp of Haiti of the exact events that took place. But what I was talking about yesterday was, now that all this shit over with, the different people from Haiti, scattered around the world, have learned skills that the Haitian people are only going to trust people with Haitian blood to help clean the island up. And so they're going to need the skills that these children of Haiti and the diaspora learn. And wherever they come from, going to support their efforts to go assist the people of the island for cleaning up. Not just Haiti, but Haiti and Dominica. And they're going to remove that border because it's all one family with different languages divided by settlers. So once they reclaim their territory, the governments of the world will deliver anything they want to the docks, the tractors to clean up Port-au-Prince and the trash in the streets, the motherfucking stockpiles of canned goods and bagged foods from around the world that they been um, saving up for emergencies delivered to Haiti. They can't pass it out in Haiti. Gonna do all that shit themselves. Cause every time they let outsiders come in for a peacekeeping effort, Haiti suffered. Outsiders come in for a mining effort, Haiti suffered. Outsiders come in for political relief, Haiti suffered. So now they don't want outsiders doing what need to be done for their redemption by themselves. They want their own people to come home, just like a lot of them was forced to leave from the wars. They want their own people to come home, get these motherfucking imposters off the land, feed these babies, and celebrate this goddamn pumpkin soup. That's what they are about to see take place. The energy is going through Little Haiti in Florida. So the people in America that's feeling the call to go back to Haiti are being called through Florida, the finish line, because that's where they came and assist with the Gullah Wars. And from that, they're going to say, okay, it's time to go clean up home, and then we can go back abroad if we choose to. Or we can stay at home and be part of the permanent rebuild. And all of the wealth have to be shared with the people. The earth rights rule is if you have to dig more than 3 feet to pull it out of the earth, it must take care of the immediate environment and the people in the environment before it's used as expansive wealth to enrich others anywhere else. In other words, all of the mines and the mine goods would first have to take care of the local mining community and the surrounding area before anybody's allowed to extract any other wealth and use it for a benefit outside of the mining community. Once the people's needs have been satisfied, then they can outsource their mining materials in order to assist with social development in other places in the world. But you're not going to keep taking the wealth out of the land and fucking over the people. That doesn't make sense when there's enough wealth in the land to take care of all of the people. Look, they having new discoveries of massive amounts of gold and other minerals around the world. You have to look at the sheer number of years that the earth has been being scanned and mined for materials in order for them to find some new shit. There has to be a shift in a timeline because eventually we would have ran out of the resource that's coming up if there is no shift in the timeline in which that resource is more abundant than it originally was. And that's what the lady was talking about. I was watching the video, how the gold support the needs of the people. How you're using it as a support system and how they remove the dark barrier, the oil barrier from between the money, the gold, and the people. That's the black and gold in Big Mama house. You got to learn how to think about power dynamics, military strategy. You have to think those things. And once you train your brain to look at those perspectives, those angles, everything you look at is going to filter that automatically. You're not going to have to do it consciously. You are actually downloading the app by learning how to think like a general and you matching it with who you is, your inner resonance, and allow you to see shit. Once you get the understanding of how a general think, you download that program. Boom. What do I do next? So, a couple of different people be inboxing me wanting to learn. I'm teaching this right now. I'm doing this straight out in the open. You gotta walk through the steps to develop these traits. And the more you communicate, the higher you rank yourself with your tribal community, your family's community. Yeah, mob ties, MOB, money over bitches, right? So it's reorganizing and redeveloping of a system that was allowed to be put to the side while somebody else exercised a de facto jurisdictional standpoint under the color of law, knowing they had fraud the whole goddamn time, and they killed anybody that knew how to motherfucking reclaim the land. Anybody that was gonna tell you how to reclaim the land. Anybody tried to help you reclaim the land. And the crazy part about all of that shit is we had more motherfuckers that we would really classify modern America as the whites, which is the pale skins of Europe. We would really realize that them motherfuckers was on the front lines with us the whole time. That a lot of people don't know there was an already diversified landscape before Columbus's invasion. It was already fucking Irish in Kentucky. It was already motherfucking Scots in Nova Scotia. The melanated redhead Scots, the children of motherfucking Scotia. You know, it was already there. They've been there for a long ass time. So you gotta remember, they only tell you the version of history that's gonna shape your submissive acceptance of it. If you don't grow up knowing no better, you can't figure out why you don't have your shit and how to get it back. But once you start to see it for yourself and you get to put the puzzle together for yourself, and you can make that shit. It's the only way it makes sense. It's the only way it makes sense. You can't tell me some cave-dwelling motherfucker crawled out of cave and made the skywalking gods bow down and be their slaves without some motherfucking skywalking gods being part of the process of subjugating the skywalking gods. Them motherfuckers is AI though. They're artificial intelligence, cursed melanated seeds. Them the ones that when they be talking about the Mormons as racist, them the motherfuckers they talking about. The Mormons is talking about them same motherfuckers that look like us, that's not us. Right? They looked at it as being our complexion was the curse. Y'all ain't getting it. It's all stacked up to trick the shit out of us. It almost worked, but my sense of humor was low. I didn't find that shit funny. Yeah. So, peace to the fam.